She pressed her hands harder against the wound, just as the dean screamed that security was on the way and her scholarship was already gone. Blood soaked through her sleeves, warm and slick, but she did not move. She did not look up. She only focused on the boy's face as his breathing stuttered, and the hallway filled with shocked silence. The bell had rung minutes ago, yet no one moved. Students froze in doorways. Phones hovered in the air, but no one spoke. Rules were breaking apart in real time, and everyone could feel it. This was not supposed to happen at a school like this. Not here. Not today. Her name was Aaliyah Turner. She was 19 years old, tall and thin, with tired eyes that had learned too much too early. Her braids were pulled back tight that morning, neat and careful, because she believed small order could protect big dreams. She wore a faded blue sweater with frayed cuffs, the kind that held warmth but not attention. On her backpack hung a small keychain shaped like a book, chipped at the edges from years of being held during quiet moments of hope. When she saw the boy fall, everything else disappeared. The stairs were crowded. Someone had pushed him by accident, or maybe on purpose. No one knew. His head hit the corner of the railing. The sound was dull, heavy, wrong. He did not scream. He just crumpled like a body that forgot how to stand. Aaliyah did not think. She dropped her books and ran. She knelt beside him, the smell of metal filling her nose, the hallway lights blurring as her heart slammed against her ribs. Her hands moved the way her mother once taught her, steady and sure. Press, breathe, stay with me. She spoke softly, even though she was not sure he could hear. Someone yelled for help. Someone yelled not to touch him. Someone yelled about liability. The dean arrived fast. A man with polished shoes and a voice trained to command rooms. He saw blood on the floor and a black girl kneeling in the middle of it. His face hardened into something sharp. He told her she was violating protocol. He told her she was not authorized. He told her to move away. She did not. The boy's eyes fluttered. His hand twitched weakly, gripping her sleeve. She stayed. That was the moment her life cracked open. Aaliyah's story did not begin in that hallway. It began years earlier in a small apartment that smelled of laundry soap and burnt toast. It began with a mother who worked double shifts at a nursing home and still found time to sit at the table every night, quizzing her daughter on spelling words and dreams. Her father had left when she was 6, not with anger, just silence. The kind that teaches a child not to expect rescue. Books became her escape. Libraries became her refuge. Scholarships became her lifeline. She learned early that excellence was not optional. It was survival. At 17, she won a full academic scholarship to the most prestigious private school in the state. The acceptance letter shook in her hands. Her mother cried so hard she had to sit down on the kitchen floor. They hugged each other between the fridge and the sink, surrounded by unpaid bills and impossible hope. This was it. The door out. But doors like that came with rules. Strict ones, no disruptions, no violations, no incidents. You do not draw attention. You do not break protocol. You do not give them a reason. Aaliyah knew this. She felt it every time she walked through marble halls where portraits of donors stared down with painted confidence. She felt it in classrooms where her voice was often the only one like hers. She learned how to make herself small without shrinking her mind until that boy fell. The dean repeated his order. Security was seconds away. People were whispering now. Some with concern. Some with fear. Some with judgment. A teacher tried to step in, then stopped. A staff member shook their head and backed away. Public silence can be louder than shouting. Aaliyah's arms ached. Her fingers were numb. Her heart pounded as fear finally crept in. Fear of consequences. Fear of losing everything she had worked for. But louder than fear was something else. Responsibility. Her mother's voice echoed in her mind, calm and firm. If you can help, you help. Even if no one thanks you. Even if it costs you. So when security grabbed her shoulders and pulled her away, she did not fight. She did not shout. She looked at the boy one last time, whispered, "Stay with me," and let herself be lifted to her feet. The hallway felt colder standing up. The boy was taken away on a stretcher. His blood stayed behind by the end of the day. The decision was swift. She was called into an office with dark wood walls and framed mission statements. The dean sat across from her, hands folded, voice smooth. He explained policies, liability, image. He told her she had acted recklessly. He told her the school could not afford risk. He told her her scholarship was revoked, effective immediately. Aaliyah listened without interruption. Her chest felt hollow, like something had been scooped out and left echoing. She nodded once. She thanked him for his time. Dignity was the only thing they had not taken yet. She packed her dorm room that night in silence. Each folded shirt felt heavier than the last. Her roommate cried. Aaliyah did not. She had learned long ago how to hold tears until they were private, as she left the campus gates with her bag over her shoulder. She did not look back. What she did not know was the boy's name, Ethan Caldwell. What she did not know was that his father's name was carved into the front of the school in gold letters. What she did not know was that while she was riding a bus back to her old neighborhood, a man in a hospital waiting room was unraveling. Ethan's father sat with his head in his hands, staring at blood on his son's shoes. He was a man used to control, used to power, used to being listened to. Doctors spoke. Machines beeped. Time stretched thing. A nurse mentioned a student who had kept his son alive until help arrived. A girl who refused to leave him. Ethan's father looked up. He asked for her name. The nurse hesitated. She mentioned the scholarship, the incident, the decision. Something shifted in the room. The next morning, the school woke to an email marked urgent. Faculty were summoned. Staff were summoned. The dean's phone rang unanswered. By noon, the auditorium was full. Aaliyah sat in the back row, unsure why she had been asked to return. Her hands trembled slightly in her lap. She wore the same blue sweater. The room buzzed with confusion. Then Ethan's father walked onto the stage. He did not raise his voice. He did not accuse. He spoke slowly, carefully, as if every word mattered. He spoke about a girl who chose a human life over rules. He spoke about courage that does not ask permission. He spoke about how institutions forget their purpose. When they punish compassion, he said a line that settled into the room like truth finding its place. Honor is what you do. When it costs you everything. The dean sat frozen. The board members shifted. Uncomfortably, Ethan's father announced that the scholarship was reinstated, expanded, protected. He announced a new emergency response program named after the girl who acted without thinking of reward. Then, he turned toward the back row. Aaliyah felt hundreds of eyes land on her at once. She stood slowly, heart racing, breath shallow. The room rose with her. No applause at first. Just silence. Thick and full and heavy with meaning. Then hands came together. Softly. Then louder. Then the sound filled every corner of the space. Aaliyah stood still. Tears blurred her vision. She pressed her lips together, grounding herself. She did not bow. She did not wave. She held herself with the same quiet strength she had shown on that hallway floor. Later, Ethan met her, pale, smiling weakly. Alive, he thanked her with eyes that understood, more than words could say. Life moved forward. Changed, Aaliyah returned to class, but something was different now. People saw her, not as a problem, not as a risk, but as a reminder. The school changed policies. Training became mandatory. Protocols were rewritten with humanity in mind, and Aaliyah kept going. Years later, when she spoke to new students, she never bragged. She never dramatized. She told them one simple truth. Your silence can still be loud. Your kindness can still change the world. And doing the right thing is never a mistake, even when it costs you. In the end, this was not just a story about a scholarship. It was a story about who we choose to be when no one is watching, about the quiet power of doing what is right, about a girl who saved a life, and did not know she was saving her own future too. If this story moved you, share where you are watching from. Let us know what you would have done in her place. And subscribe for more stories that honor silent strength and unseen courage.